This episode is proudly brought to you by the members of the You Run Podcast Network. All shows can be found at yourunpodcast.com. So go and find your new podcast addiction today.
You want to die tonight?
The dad jokes he tells sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. The passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled.
Hello, Sidney. It's an honor.
Hello and welcome everybody to the You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review, the show where you pick the shows and we talk about them every single Monday. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
And you are joining us for another deep dive into a movie you've picked. The way this show works, now, in fact, before I do that, this is our second week of the ultimate Halloween month, and I'm using inverted commas with my fingers for people who are watching. Ultimate Halloween month, and you picked what you picked this week.
I mean, there were some fucking great Halloween movies in this poll as well.
Yeah. Anyway, the way this works, if you're new to the show, is we give you a brief overview of the film. We then dive into the highs and the many, many, many lows. And we share our opinions along the way. We're spoiler heavy. We reveal plot. We reveal endings. If you haven't seen the movie, feel free to pause, go and watch it, come back, and we'll tell you all about it. You could probably skip this one and we'll just tell you about it. And we've probably saved you 2 hours of your life you're never getting back. Later in the show, we've got some interactive features. The return of cover notes. Yay. Well, we give you, the listeners, a chance to get involved. We also have a decent amount of production facts and check our voicemails. We're also playing the game that someone will eventually solve.
Any closer?
Not this week.
No.
In fact, no. We have a message this week that confirms we are closer in the most dickhead move way ever.
All right, brilliant.
Which I'm like, oh. So someone knows one and is not going to share it with everyone else. They're going to make them work it out themselves.
Or they're just holding it until they've got all five.
Yeah, so they've got 4 now. They need 1. Right. They refuse to release the one that they know. Well, we'll get to it later. Today's episode is the completing of a franchise for us, kind of. So we've covered all of these episodes on the show. Some of these episodes or some of these movies don't exist on the show anymore because they were deleted for some bizarre reasons. DM me, I'll tell you all about it. We'll have to go back to them at some point.
I was going to say, if they have been removed for that purpose, we are going to have to go back and drop those episodes in, because there's a couple on there from the Halloween franchise as well, and I don't need an excuse to redo those movies. This
is true. Maybe we'll stick that in for 2026. We'll do a revisited, and we'll literally just pick up all the shit we've done before that's been deleted, so we've got those episodes there again.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Ghostface is back, and this time he's got a whole college campus to play with as he leaves Woodsboro behind to follow Sidney and Randy to the halls of Windsor College. As you would expect, bodies start stacking up, and soon everyone's least favourite reporter, Gale Weathers, and the most bumbling cop with the most ridiculous injury that disappears in Scream 3, Dewey Riley, arrive to investigate. Meta commentary on top of almost parody style kills are on the table as we dive into Wes Craven's worst Scream movie by a country mile, Scream 2 from 1997. Yeah.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I was wondering how long it'd be before you put that soundbite in there somewhere.
It wasn't long.
Yeah, you think this is worse than Scream 3?
Yes, I genuinely do, because this is where the downfall began. This is where it went from being a serious, well-grounded, like mind-blowingly good meta horror to like playing to the audience and being meta for the sake of meta and being comedic and adding in that. I think what Wes Craven tried to do with this is he tried to recreate what he'd done with Dream Warriors with Ghostface, and it just didn't work. Like the goofiness and the tripping over his own feet was like, oh,
yeah,
why?
it was very stupid, very, very stupid. And the thing is, I think the only reason that Scream 3 gets the edge for me is because of the set design of the recreation of Woodsboro. I always enjoy that scene in Scream 3. You know, where they're doing like the film studio stuff. That's really, really cool. But yeah, Parker Posey in Scream 3 is fucking dreadful. Yeah, Scream 3 is really, really bad. In fact, they're both equally just as bad as each other. But, however, we're not doing Scream 3 this week. We're doing Scream 2. Where do you want to start? And you can't say anything other than Jada Pinkett Smith.
I want to start with Will Smith's wife,
Yes.
and I'm going to put her name firmly in my mouth as I say, one, she is a terrible fucking actress, and two, if this is your girlfriend, if your girlfriend behaves like this when you go to the cinema, you need a new girlfriend.
Oh, dude, there is nothing that makes me despise that woman more than this scene. This particular opening just makes me think this is what she's like in real life. And over recent years, I'd never really cared too much for her. She was just an annoying character in the opening of Scream 2. Now I know more about her and the way she's put herself out into the world over recent years. I loved every fucking moment of this opening in Scream 2.
Do you reckon Will Smith puts this on when he's had a particularly bad day?
Oh,
He just
must
laughs his ass off.
He's got it saved on his phone, so he's just laid there in bed in the spare room one night. He's like, yeah, fuck you, bitch.
in the spare room while she's banging his son's friend, who she was
Exactly.
exactly. So he's listening to them go out and just turns the volume up in his headphones to hear her
Watching
die.
Scream 2. I mean, it was just even like, everything she said annoyed me. But it was that one particular scene where she was like, oh, give me some money. He's like, what? I've got my money. I got my own money, man. I just want your money. And I'm aware of how racist I just sounded doing that. And I do apologize.
You did. I'm going to let it go.
And it was when she said that, I want to spend your money. I'm like, oh, no. Do you know? Right. Yeah. Die now. And then like the scene went on a lot longer than I expected it to. I was like, I don't remember it being this long. I need to see her die.
And he died for no reason whatsoever.
No, and I liked him. And I was like, dude, you deserve a medal for putting up with this shit.
Yeah, and he would have been a great character to carry through. I thought he was a really good character. Like he was a nice guy. Like I could see me getting behind and supporting him. The one thing that really throws me about this movie, and it's the only one in the franchise that does it, no phone call for the opening kill.
Yes, this is true.
And I don't know why they chose to do that, because the whole premise of Ghostface is he calls you first and he quizzes you on horror movies.
Yeah. But I mean, the formulaic situation wasn't quite established in a sequel. And one thing that Randy says later on as well, I'm jumping the gun, but it has no relevance to where we're going. He mentioned when they're talking, do you know what? No, I'll save it because it is relevant, because it's where we get to in a bit. Yeah, no, it doesn't. While I've got you here though, what is your favorite opening in the Scream franchise?
I'm going to annoy you when I say it's Scream 4.
Ah, dude, that's like straight out of a fucking Scary Movie.
I love the. That's
the worst in the franchise.
That is my favorite. It's a stab movie. Oh, it's another stab movie. Oh, one more stab movie. Now we'll have the opening. Like that to me is like, that's brilliant, because every single time they do it, the first one you're like, oh, it's a stab movie. Oh, that's quite cool. And then they do it again. You're like, oh, you fuckers. And then they do it a third time. And on the third time, I'm like, I'm doing that whole thing where you go, cinema. That's where I am with that. It's so good.
Yeah. I mean, for me, obviously, the Casey Becker is always going to be the best out of the bunch. But if I had to pick something outside of the original, it's got to be Scream 3, Cotton Weary. He had a TV show called 100% Cotton. That needed to go as well.
The thing is, like, these movies, as a general rule, I like the Scream franchise. I have no issues with it in particular. I think Ghostface is an ingenious character. I don't think we need the amount of sequels we've had. But
you say that though, but I do feel like from Scream 4, they've got progressively better. they kind of went original, woo, massively downhill. Scream 4 reinvigorated to what the original Scream 2 should have been, a much darker, grittier version. And I like the newer stuff with the Carpenter sisters. I think that's really, really cool. It's a shame we're not going to get their story fulfilled. But I'm excited now. I'm excited for Scream 7. Now it's getting closer onto the horizon. We've got a lot of leaks about what's coming from that. I think it's going to be, I'm holding out hope. But then when I watched this movie and the credits rolled and it said, written by Kevin Williamson, I was like, oh no, maybe Scream 7 is going to be really, really bad.
The thing is, the original was written by Kevin Williamson, but very much with Wes Craven's involvement. This one was written by Kevin Williamson with Wes Craven's involvement. And I don't understand how they can make something that's so fucking good and follow it with something that's so fucking bad and both be attached to it. It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
The thing is, it happens regularly, though, with sequels, doesn't it? You know, I mean, especially in a pre-internet era of Hollywood, where you have success with your original, but your egotistical, artistic mind believes that there's certain elements of your product that people must have resonated with. So Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson must have been like, they must have absolutely loved this side of it. That's why everybody's going nuts. So we're going to amp that up. Before the era of internet trolls who, let's be honest, nowadays we can pretty much guide a franchise where we want it to go. If we don't like Terrifier is a perfect example of that. We have literally, as a fan base, decided on how that franchise is going to come to fruition. We have pushed Damien Leone into doing everything we want to see him do in a sequel, and he's listened to the fans and he's delivered on it, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But before that, we had this, and it was like, oh, well, that one was really successful. It must have been because of that ingenious thing I did where I dressed up as Freddy Krueger in the hallway. Let's do more of that in the sequel. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I think it all comes down to the guy leading the charge and how much he loves his own involvement in a project to amplify what that should be in the sequel.
Yeah, I think one thing they've done really well in this, and I will give them credit where it's due. Sidney Prescott in this is the most badass, unfazed, unbothered by everything around her, badass bitch that she is in the entire franchise. This movie, she's like, doesn't give a fuck. Like that first phone call, he's like, do you want to know my name? And she like leans over half asleep, going, yeah, it's Billy James, blah, 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 this address, this phone number. He's like, She's like, okay, bye now then. And he's like, hangs up. Like that is brilliant. And the fact, like, her roommate's like, is it time to change your number? She's like, nah, the movie's just come out. Like, they'll get over it. Like, she's so unbothered. And I love that for her character, given how fucking traumatized and destroyed she was in the first movie. That growth is brilliant. Yeah. But it lacks it elsewhere.
It does. And I think if you pull this movie apart and place it on a table and spread out the bare bones of it, it's a really good movie. Like the directional side of it, in terms of not the direction, the actual direction of the story narrative, is really, really good. Like Sidney's in college or uni or whatever you call it now, and she's dealing with the aftermath. The movie's coming out. There's a copycat killer. Everything on paper sounds fucking fantastic. But then you get stupid scenes like the scene with fucking Dewey and Randy talking about, maybe you're the suspect. Maybe you're the suspect. And they're looking at they might as well be looking directly at the camera. It's stuff like that infuriated me throughout this.
What's going on with Dewey's hand? Because in this, Dewey got stabbed in the first one. In this,
in the shoulder.
Yeah, David Arquette walks around with his hand like he literally walks around doing the Jim Carrey. It's the claw for the entire fucking movie. In Scream 3 doesn't do it. They obviously realized it was a bad idea.
Even Randy calls him out for it in this movie, and he's like, what's with the fucking limp, man? You got stabbed in the shoulder. And he's like, it's nerve damage. But he's like such a stupid character in this film.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while since I've watched the original, but I don't remember him being this dense in the first movie.
No, I think in the first, I watched the first one recently. In the first one, he's thick.
But he didn't say he was thick. If memory serves me correct, He's just like new to the Force. He's very much a teenage boy rookie.
Yeah. Yeah, and in this, he's like, there's a whole conversation him and Gale have where he's like, oh, inept and lost. Maybe I just use that as my tactic to gain people's trust and find out more information. I'm like, oh God, who wrote this dialogue? This whole conversation is so stupid.
Yeah,
and it doesn't work. Gale's hair works though. First movie, she had good hair.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big Courtney Cox fan. I always have been. Even when it comes to Friends, she was my go-to. I was a Courtney Cox guy in Friends, not Jennifer Aniston like most people. And now I'm thinking about Courtney Cox, and I've lost train of thought.
if it helps you at all, I was a Lisa Kudrow. I like Lisa Kudrow.
I know we've had this conversation before recently, I feel, and it always baffles me every time you tell me this.
Yeah, I like her because she's the sort of woman who might have great sex with you, but also might stab you, and that kind of excites me. That unknowing of what I'm getting,
the danger of it. Yeah. The next thing you know, you're having sex. All of a sudden, you wake up blindfolded to a tree with a cult of witches.
Yeah, and I'm all in for that. Like, I think that's a great evening out. The supporting cast in this, Randy, I think is okay in this.
No, he's terrible. He's terrible. He's overacting in this, and his massive self-importance in his role in this movie is just ridiculous. And I always remember hating Scream 2 for the reason that they killed Randy. But watching it again on a repeat, I was like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, this is your time to go, man, because you're annoying me now.
Yeah, I think they had a misstep killing Randy. I think
I do. I feel like he's a vital part of the franchise.
Yeah, if they could bring him back, if they'd have brought him back, for example, in Scream 5, like his involvement would have been incredible, but we didn't get that.
Well, he did. He came back in the video thing, did he not? Did they do a video thing again for Randy?
No, that was that 4 or 3? I can't remember.
Because that cousin came in, that weird, strange-looking cousin. I didn't know. Oh no, it wasn't. It was just a mural in the Meeks' house of his pictures on the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Randy for me in this one was just a little bit too. Hey, I'm the guy who's going to give you all the insight that you need. And don't get me wrong, he has some very, very, very intelligent stuff to say. It's just shrouded by his weird Jim Carrey's impressions throughout. His over insistence on just being the center of attention in every conversation annoyed me. But he said something really, really important in this movie that really caught my attention. I was like, I've never thought about that before. And this is what I was going to mention earlier. It's the bit where they're in the classroom and they're discussing sequels. That's the lesson of the week is sequels, because they're all in movie class or media studies or whatever you call it. And they're discussing sequels, and then they're back and forthing on which one is the best sequels, and they're like Godfather and whichever other ones get mentioned in the conversation. And he says something that blew my mind when somebody mentions Star Wars. Timothy Olyphant, which we'll talk about Timothy in a while because I love him too. Timothy Olyphant comes in and he's like, which is the second Star Wars? Is it Return?
Yeah. No, Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. He's like, Empire Strikes Back, the greatest sequel of all time. And Randy says, part of an intended trilogy and not a sequel. And my mind just went, because everybody's always like, what's the greatest sequel of all time? And I will tell you outright, it's Two Towers, Lord of the Rings. Greatest sequel of all time.
But it's not.
Now I don't know if I can do that anymore, because I'd literally believe everything that Randy had said and be like, no, it's part of an intended trilogy. Therefore, it's not necessarily categorized as a sequel. I'm like, fuck, that has just completely changed my perspective on everything I know.
Yeah, and that also then kills off T2 because T3 was already planned. Like it kills off.
Well, no, because T3 wasn't an intended trilogy, was it? I don't even think T2 was planned. Like an intended trilogy is, for me, an intended trilogy is Lord of the Rings. That was always set out to be a 3-movie thing.
The New Strangers is a 3-movie thing.
Like exactly. Strangers Chapter 1, 2, 3. That was already advertised as a trilogy. It was written as a trilogy.
Yeah.
And I don't think Terminator falls into that category. Matrix, that was, I think, written as an intended trilogy, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those kind of movies would Indiana Jones, was that an intended trilogy?
No, that was a one-off that just hit and they went with it.
Yeah, but there is many movies out there that are those, and especially around the time of Lord of the Rings and like when the Harry Potter movies were coming out, you would get this to be continued at the end because they were written as an intended.
Same as Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, the Batman. I don't know. Would you consider the Batman trilogy, even though it was a trilogy? Was it considered? We could do this all night, dude.
We need to move on. Let's talk about Sidney's boyfriend.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Fucking Jerry O'Connell, man.
If I was in college and I watched a boy dance and sing for his girlfriend at the top of his voice in the canteen, he would be ridiculed forever. I'm not a bully, but he deserves someone to go, mate, you need to sort your life out.
He deserved to be punched in the throat for what he did. Right. I think I would like this movie maybe half a star, maybe even a full star more if it weren't for this particular scene. And Jerry O'Connell, he was fantastic in Stand By Me, but I've seen him in a couple of movies since, and Piranha 3D being one of them.
Don't be slagging on Piranha 3D. Piranha 3D
is a fucking arsehole in both, and he's an arsehole in this. His fucking nice boy persona don't wash with me. That stupid, cringy Top Gun scene that he did, I hate it, and I hate the movie for it. And every time someone's like, "Oh, Scream 2," I'm like, "No, it's all I think about." And it lingers with me for days afterwards as well. Like now, I watched this movie like 3 days ago. I've spent the last 3 days thinking about this scene.
And I just don't know why. I don't know what possessed him to have this moment that not him, Wes Craven. What possessed Wes Craven to go, Joe, what we need here? We need a musical number. Like, if they'd have gone one step further and like put a couple of spotlights on him and dimmed the lights around him, this is one step away from being an episode of Glee.
I just hate it, man. I hate it. And then as soon as I see this scene starting and they're sat in the canteen and he starts doing that real cringy, like, I don't even know what the lyrics are to the song, but he starts wording them.
Yeah.
And everyone's real confused by what he's saying as if he's having some sort of seizure. And Timothy Olyphant's like, "Oh, he's doing Top Gun. He's doing Top Gun." And then they all just, "Oh, no, dude." And he gets on the tip. I just hate it. It gives me the ick. Not many things give me the ick where I feel like really shuddery thinking about it. But this scene is awkward as anything I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all. I tell you what I am a fan of, though, and that is Cece.
I'm Buffy.
Yes.
The Vampire Slayer, and you are?
Yeah, but Buffy in this, another fucking massive misstep in this franchise was killing that character.
Yep. It was nice for her to be here. She got killed by the fisherman, and now she got killed by Ghostface. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar. I love her in the Scooby-Doo movies. I think she's fantastic in those. I love her in I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I really like her character here. I fucking hate Buffy. I'm not a big fan. I've voiced that many, many a times. But I think she's great as the Vampire Slayer. I think she's a cool Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I just don't like the whole thing as a whole, to be honest with you. But here, she was the best part of this movie. And her kill as well was awesome.
Yeah, and like even the lead up to that, like the bit where you see her and her friend talking and Ghostface like nips behind them, you actually see Ghostface go across from one side to the other, and then their friend leaves and sets the alarm. Like the whole setup for that, it felt very much like the original opening for Scream.
Yeah.
If they'd opened with this would have been the most incredible open where she gets the call, and they'd use Sarah Michelle Gellar as the opening kill. They killed Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the first 11 seconds of the movie. That would have put a whole different tone on me as a viewer when I went into this. I'd have been like, that's cool. And like, let her have a bit of a fight. Like, get her to throw a couple of fly kicks in against Ghostface.
She chucks a bike at him.
Yeah, but like, if he'd have come in and she'd have like roundhouse kicked him in the face, and then we had the sequence, and maybe she punched him a couple of times and then went off the balcony. Like, that is the ultimate fan service. She is the vampire slayer. She's put up a fight. Now she's been killed by Ghostface. Let's start the movie. But instead, it's just a midpoint throwaway moment that just it doesn't have any bearing on the rest of the movie, which annoys me a lot.
Which makes me wonder, do you reckon this maybe was filmed as an initial opening sequence, but because of the similarities to the first movie, they decided to interject it somewhere else? Because you could quite easily, the only other scene she's in this movie is the one where she dies in this, which is a very self-contained scene, as you mentioned. And then the other scene, which is where they're talking about sequels in Movie Class. They could have brought her back to reshoot that scene just to interject it prior to this in terms of bringing it on in canon. They maybe did, because this would have quite fit as an opening sequence.
Yeah,
she falls off the balcony, the camera pans down, Scream 2, whoosh. But maybe because of the similarities to the first movie, they maybe thought, do you know what, this is a bit predictable.
Yeah, which begs the question, should I make that cut and release it as a reel? Because that sounds like a much better opening to Scream 2.
Hey, there you go for it, man. But I do think that was maybe the case. So I don't know this for fact, but I'm just saying, like, it is very self-contained, that scene, and she has no interaction with any cast members other than the brief. She's literally in that room. That's the only time we know that Sarah Michelle Gellar's in this movie, is because she is in that classroom and she says what her favorite sequel is for like 2 seconds on screen, and then the next time we see her, she's there, and she died.
Exactly that. And like, I don't know, I think that would have been a much better opening. I have a real issue with reporters in this movie. The reporters on the campus, as a general rule, it's fine. It works. Like, that's how reporters work. Gale Weathers annoys the fuck out of me. I know people are going to come for me. I don't care.
No, I don't think so. She's
the character of Gale Weathers is an absolute bellend. The woman who is like the additional reporter who turns out to be Billy Loomis's mum.
Mommy Milkers.
She is the absolute worst character in this movie by a country mile. And why the fuck is she here?
Because she's a killer.
But why is she, like, she wasn't the killer? We'll talk about that in facts. But like, if she's going to be the killer, that's fine. Interject her once or twice, but she's fucking everywhere. It's almost like she's wearing a neon sign that says, "I am the killer."
And had this been a scary movie skit, she probably would have done.
Exactly that. And I don't think she's a great actress either. Like, she really rubbed me the wrong way in this.
She's really, really famous, and I can't remember what for.
It's not
I don't know who
acting.
she is. No, I think she is, man. I think she's like a very famous actress, and she's definitely a person of importance. Anyway, I know that. Lucy Metcalf, I think she's called. I might be massively wrong on that as well. That's just what rings a bell to me off the bat. But I liked her. She had that sort of. Do you know what it is when I watch it? Do you know young Sheldon's mum? It's like if Sheldon's mum tried to be a reporter. And I got that very much like a small town trying to make it Lois Lane type vibe from her. And yet she's annoying as shit, and she's supposed to be. But I didn't dislike the writing of her and the reveal of her, who she turned out to be. What I did dislike about her reveal at the end regarding it is how Sidney immediately recognized her and Gale didn't.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, she's like, "Oh, I've had some work done." It's like, well, yeah, but still, Gale Weathers, who's wrote a book and studied this case inside out because she's made it her life, whereas Sidney's just probably been around for tea once at Billy's house. I feel like Gale would know who this is more than Sidney.
Yeah, I get that feeling as well. And she annoyed me. While we're on it, let's talk about the other killer. He makes no sense at all as a killer, but my God, I love his character.
I love him. Timothy Olyphant, I'll watch him in anything.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Such a cool guy. I imagine he's like the nicest guy in the world when you meet him in real life. Like, one of my favorite TV shows, which still to this day my heart aches for another season, is Santa Clarita's Diet.
Oh, such a good. Oh, so good.
It is literally one of the greatest shows ever made. And then right at the very end of season 3, he dies and Drew Barrymore bites him and he comes back as a zombie. And then the show just never got renewed for season 4. And it was so cool, man, because every episode was like 30 minutes and it was like an 8 or 9 episode season. And you could watch it in an afternoon. Do you know what I mean? All 3 seasons. And it was the coolest thing ever. And yeah, I love him for that. That was where my love and appreciation for Timothy Olyphant come. I do like him, what he's doing in Alien Earth. I'm only 3 episodes in, by the way, because I'm well behind because I've got other shit going on at the moment. I'm Stranger Things deep at the moment.
Yeah, I'll be quiet, but Alien Earth is
yeah, I know, but I watched like the first 2 episodes because they were released on release day, and then I tuned in next week for episode 3, and I was like, do you know what? I can't do this weekly thing anymore. I just cannot, man. The way society has changed and the way my life has changed, I just cannot wait week for week. So I'm gonna tune off to it and ignore it for at least a month. And then I'll have like 4 episodes, but I think it's finished now. I think it's like ended. So I've got them all to go back on, but I was loving what he was doing in that show. So I'm excited to catch up. I've lost where I am again, man. I'm just on a weird tangent tonight talking shit. I do apologize.
It's fine. We were saying how great Timothy Olyphant is, and I agree.
Yeah.
We're agreeing tonight a lot. Like on
and I think so. I think unanimously this is where me and you come together with this movie, because neither of us have no nostalgia or attachment to this franchise. We're both grateful for it and we both like it, but I think we're both quite neutral towards it. Like if we was having a Nightmare and a Halloween conversation, it would be very different and there would be a lot of butting of heads. But when it comes to this is our neutral, you know?
Yeah. This is our middle ground where we can just say it as it is with no nostalgia attached. Like I love the first one.
I'm not going to defend anything about this franchise to you.
No, like I'm not going to go into full scale battle. Like if you come at Freddy Krueger, I'm going to be like, oh, hang on a minute.
Exactly. Like I like this. Don't get me wrong. I do like this franchise, and it's great, and I enjoy it for what it is. But if somebody was like, Ghostface is the worst killer of all time, I wouldn't sit there and go red in the face and argue the fact with them. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, man.
Yeah.
Whereas for like Myers or Leatherface or even Chucky, I would probably go out on a limb for. But this, it's just a nah to me. I don't care.
And I think that kind of sums up Ghostface in this movie. Ghostface's appearances in this movie are very meh.
Yeah.
Like at no point is he menacing, or the only time he's actually menacing is when he kills Cece. But when he's with,
I think he's pretty intense with the Gale and Dewey scene in the auditorium area where it's like the sound booth and stuff like that. I think that is the best Ghostface is in this movie, where he kills Dewey.
It starts well. He doesn't. Dewey survives, just more stabbing. But it starts off well, like the bit with Gale, like banging on the glass. Like it starts off well. Then he puts his hand through and he can't get through. And then after that, he does the weird thing where he kind of goes away and then he comes back. And it's that they just pushed that scene just a little bit too far for me.
Yeah, they do. But I think why I linger onto it so much is because it is the best that this movie offers in terms of his character.
Yeah.
I find Scream 1, even to this day, quite a scary movie because I think the tension building, the sound cues, and the characters in that movie and the presence of Ghostface is utilized very, very well. The only real slapstick moments you get from his character in that film is where she's chucking the beer bottles at him in the garage. It's a bit silly. But whereas in this movie, everything is silly. Every interaction of him is silly. And don't get me wrong, the reveal of Mickey being the guy behind it at the end makes it make a little bit more sense. But every time I watch a Scream movie, I never picture who the reveal is, if that makes sense to you. I always separate the character of Ghostface as an entity. And I don't mean this in a logical sense. I'm not watching these movies saying, oh, Ghostface is an entity. But I don't pit the characteristics of the reveal, so the characteristics of Timothy Olyphant's character, as the characteristics of the Ghostface killer as he's running around. I know that's a really weird thing to justify.
No. I understand what you're saying.
Even if going back to the original, I'm not like, oh, Stu Marker. You know what I mean? I'm just like, that's a killer. That's Ghostface, the killer. You know, he could be like he's just the Michael Myers of the movie, and then it turns out to be somebody at the end, and it's a Scooby-Doo. Well, if it wasn't for you pesky kids kind of thing. And like even with Laurie Metcalf being revealed at the end of this movie, it's not like I'm like, oh, which part of the movies was she? I say that, and I'm losing train of thought again. But the only movie I have done that in is Scream 5, where Dewey dies.
Yeah, and then you try and work out who it is. And
yeah, because it doesn't make sense.
it doesn't. They're missing a killer. There was a third killer in Scream 5. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, we'll hopefully in Scream 7 we'll get there.
Maybe. See, I'm still like very, very anti Spyglass. Like what they've done to Melissa Barrera. I'm still very like. I still don't want to cover it. I think at some point I'm going to ask if people want us to cover it, and if they do, I think they might just have to swallow a 10-minute rambling rant of how fucking annoyed I am at Spyglass before we do it.
See, the thing is, for me, like, I just don't give a shit enough. I think it's very, very unfair what they did to Melissa Barrera. But I say I don't give a shit enough, but I've refused to watch Thanksgiving when that came out, or Thanksgiving, or whatever it is. I still haven't to this day seen it, and I've heard great things about that movie. But I haven't watched it for that reason, because that came off the backlash of Scream, the obliteration of the Scream franchise. And I think the thing that pisses me off about it the most is I was genuinely hyped. I was on board. You know, I was ready to see this trilogy fulfilled of the Carpenter sisters.
Yeah.
And it was gearing up to give us that final conclusion. And even so, like the whole thing that they did with not bringing Sidney back for Scream 6, that pissed me off as well. They've not had a great ride, but I think because those two movies were so good, they got a pass. But they just royally fucked it towards the end, man, with cancelling her. I don't even know what logical moment came over them where it was like, yes, we're going to fire our lead actress.
We're going to fire our lead actress because she said genocide is bad. How dare she?
Yeah, our entire trilogy pins on this character, but we're going to fire her. And of course, Jenna Ortega is going to go with her in solidarity, but we don't care because we're taking the moral high ground on this.
Yeah, and then what we're going to do is we're going to spend 10 times what we were going to spend to bring back all the old cast. We're going to need to pay Neve Campbell 3 times what she asked for before because she now knows we're in the shit. We need a writer who everyone knows, Kevin Williamson. Oh, he's going to pull our pants down. Let's bring back Schumacher because everyone's wanted that forever. And Matthew Lillard must have sat in that meeting and just rubbed his hands together and gone, right, boys, how much are you paying me? No, that's not enough. Try again. Put another 0 on that and we'll talk.
And I think that's the thing that worries me about that movie coming out is I'm all for Stu, and I know you are and have been for the past 6 years, putting yourself through all kinds of torture trying to achieve that dream. But now I'm just feeling like it's forced, you know, like I don't feel like this moment's earned.
No, it's not. Like I've rolled in mousetraps. I've walked on Lego. Like I've done loads of shit going, oh, Stu will be back, and then he's not, and then I've done forfeits. And now he is back and it's been announced. I just don't care. Like,
it's not that I don't care because I'm desperate to know how they're going to handle this. Because I'm not convinced in the slightest that this is going to be done in the right way. There was something you put the other day about this whole Scream 5 and 6 being a fucking stab movie. And I tell you now, opening night, as much as I don't want to give Spyglass my money, I am going to go and see this film. Because purely because I don't want it spoiled for me.
Yeah.
Like I want to know, I want to have a genuine reaction to it and a genuine experience of it. Because it's no spoilers. It Stu's back. We know that. So it's not like I'm going to find out on social media and he turns up in a cameo situation. He's back in this movie. It's announced. And I want to see it unfold genuinely, not just snippets of people's reactions and stuff like that. I want to sit there. I want to watch it and I want to see how it's handled. And I'm just really fucking dubious, man, about how well this is going to go for them.
Yeah, I've got a YouTube video up at the moment at You Run Podcast, a YouTube video of my theory as to what it is, going into more depth about how I think 5 and 6 are stab movies and how I've explained away why certain characters are in it. It's a really good video. Go watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're meant to be talking about this movie. We've got on another tangent. Is there anything else you particularly want to cover in this movie?
Yes. There is, because there is a lot of stuff about this film that I like. I really like the Sydney leaving campus, the whole crash scene, getting out of the car, about to pull the mask off. That's really cool. Deciding to want to go back and check it out. She does that quite a lot of times in this movie where she should have left the situation and then didn't, and it's caused death or injury to somebody. So she lost her best friend because she wanted to go back to the car wreckage and pull the mask off.
Yeah.
She caused her boyfriend to get slashed severely in his arm and then bring speculation on him for it. Because she decided to go back and answer the telephone in the house, which she didn't need to do.
And she was a little bit of a bitch after that. She's like, I just don't want you near me. And I'm like,
And that was Dewey's fault as well, though. It's like,
yeah,
it's a bit convenient that he didn't hit any major artery. I'm like, fuck off, Dewey, man. Like, why are you even on a college campus? Go home, you weird little man.
Take your claw with you. Come back when your arm's repaired.
Yeah, and like, so I like those scenes. There's a lot of cool stuff in this movie. And again, it's just, I feel like we've hit quite hard on the negatives for Scream 2, and rightly so, because there is a lot of failings within this movie. But if you strip it down to its bare bones, I think there's a lot of cool stuff here. It's just not executed very well at all. Oh, yeah. And I hate the stuff with the theater. I hate the theater play stuff.
The scene that's behind us. The
scene that's behind us now. Yeah. I hate all of this. It irritates me when it's on. It irritates me in the final act when they're revealed that it's Laurie Metcalf and Timothy Oliphant, and then they're having the big shootout thing, and like the stage collapses and it's like polystyrene blocks, but Laurie Metcalf crumbles like she's just fallen off Mount Everest. And it's like I know they're polystyrene blocks. Like they probably wouldn't even knock you over had they fallen on you. There is a lot of issues with that final fight scene at the end.
Yeah.
That have major bugbears with me.
I tell you who we haven't touched on is Cotton Weary.
I love Cotton.
I love Cotton. I always love Cotton. I think the actor's incredible as well. Liv Schreiber. I think he's amazing. He's done one of the best series ever. Absolutely of all
you
time.
Always harp on about this.
Ray Donovan. Like he is the fucking man. But in this, he's a really young, like kind of goofy guy. And he did go to prison for something he didn't do. But he's really odd in his behaviours towards Sydney.
Yeah, he's really just seeking his fame, isn't he? He's seeking his money, which I get. You know, he wants his payout. He served his time, and now he's like, "Come on, do the interview with me. Do the interview with me." But he's a hero in the end, and I do always like the final scene where the camera's focusing on him, and you've got both Sydney and Laurie Metcalf telling him like, "Oh, just kill her. You'll be the one. If you kill Sydney in this moment, the attention is all on you. You will get all the thingy." And then at the same time, Sydney's like, "I'll do your interview. I'll do your fucking interview. Just shoot this bitch so we can go home." And you can just see the cogs ticking in his mind of like, "Oh, I don't know what to do here," but still walks out like he's a hero. I'm like, dude, you hesitated for a good couple of minutes.
Yeah, who should I shoot? Will I get more fame by shoot? No, because if I shoot her, she's the baddie, and that will mean that I'll get the interview, and then maybe I'll get a book deal. I'm going to shoot you. Like he has that whole process.
Yeah, he's financially weighing up his options at the end. It's brilliant. And that's what pisses me off about the opening to Scream 3. Because I liked his character so much here. As soon as it opens and it's got his TV show and it's 100% Cotton. Anybody who is named Cotton and then they name a TV show 100% Cotton, just no. I was like, yeah, you die. You die now in the opening, please.
I don't know. If I was called Cotton 100%, I'd have 100% Cotton as a show.
Of course you would. You are that guy.
This would be the 100% Cotton podcast.
Oh, let's fucking thank the Lord that that's not your last name.
Well, let's head over to your recommended account. And I have got you the best soundbite today ever, so you can have this.
Go ahead, does it?
It goes on for ages. That slow clapping, allegedly, however, I think it sounds very, very sus.
So this week's recommended account of the week, and I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. It's been a while since I've had a clear out. So basically what I do is if I find cool accounts, I'll screen grab them and I'll put them in a folder on my phone titled recommended account of the week. Then I come in here, I do the recommended account of the week, and I'm usually very drunk. And then I'll go to bed and I'll wake up the next day and forget the entirety of the episode until I have to text Scott and be like, what did we say we were going to do next week? The same can be said for recommended account of the week. I don't think I've done this one yet. I need to go through my folder and delete the ones that I'm pretty sure I have done, but this is one that I haven't done, I'm sure. But as soon as I say it, I'm going to be looking at Scott as if to say, did I do it or did I not? And this one is Well of Fables. I don't think I did Well of Fables yet. I haven't anyway, because But Well of Fables is an Instagram account that specializes in cartoon making of a particular era, sort of like 70s, 60s, really dark, gritty cartoons that we used to get as a kid. Like
is this like the old Mickey Mouse stuff?
No, it's not. No, I know which one you're. The one where it's like the bendy.
It's not that. Okay, you've not done this one before.
No. That's a fucking cool account though. I haven't checked that one in a while. I should go back and see where they are these days. No, this one's called Well of Fables. It's more of like it's like an old anime style cartoon making, and I don't possibly know how to describe it without telling you guys to go check it out. But the stuff that's within it is really, really cool. Really like dark, fanciful kind of stuff. But it's really cool. I'm just trying to think, just like Masters of the Universe style cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, did you see like Skeletor memes? He's like, off again, and he runs off into like the cave. It's like that, but maybe 10 years younger. So it's a little bit more older and dated than that. And it's real fanciful stuff with like wizards, and it's just snippets of little bits. It's hard. It's a really hard account to explain to somebody with the level of intelligence that I have. But it's a cool account, and I want you all to go check it out because I know a lot of you will like it. So go and check out Well of Fables on Instagram. And as always, give them a like and a follow and let them know the You Run podcast sent you there.
Deal with it, nerds.
This month, I'm going to be introducing you to our two newest members of the You Run Podcast Network. We have the Deadbeats podcast hosted by Will and JT, a horror movie review podcast that is kind of unlike anything else you will see on the network, and you need to go and watch it to fully understand why. This show does deep dives into horror movies, does interviews with celebrities. This is a really cool horror podcast that doesn't quite fit the mould of your regular podcast, so you need to go and check them out. The other show that you absolutely have to go and listen to is the What the Fuck Are You Doing podcast. This show, hosted by Hearn Dizzle and EBitty, covers, well, everything. Music, games, TV, random thoughts that pop in their head, creative pursuits, you name it, they cover it. If it comes into their head, they say it. It's a wildly entertaining and hilariously funny show. So go and check out both of those shows and all the other shows in the You Run Podcast Network, and all you need to do is go to yourunpodcast.com. Anyway, I'm going to say back to the show now. Back to the show.
Thanks, Scott.
You're very welcome. Go and follow Mark's recommended account of the week. He didn't describe it very well this week, but that's the whole point of recommended account. He doesn't need to. He gives you the account name and you go and check them out.
I would, because it is a cool account. I just can't fathom the description of what it is. There's a certain type of thing that this is that I know people would like. And as soon as you instantly see it, and you will recognize it and you will know what I'm talking about, but I don't know what the terminology is to describe it properly.
Yeah, maybe you should send recommended accounts to me and we should discuss them before you talk about them. Maybe
no, because I don't feel like you would know what category this falls into either.
Probably not.
Also, that's cool as shit. I'm like, yeah, so what is it? And you'd be like, well, I don't know the terminology of it. It's cool. Which is exactly what I've done tonight.
Also, while you're on Instagram, go and give Mark a follow. He's at Reviews from the Crypt, where he reviews other movies in the Scream franchise and other cool stuff too. Or VHS from the Crypt, where he shows you what happens when you have too much disposable income and an addictive personality.
It's bad, man. It's bad.
It is bad. Get out. Get out.
It is bad.
Also, check out yourunpodcast.com, where you'll find links to all of our shows, all of the shows of the You Run Podcast Network, the ever-growing network. We have new members waiting in the wings for the next influx, so we are going to grow from 19 to 20 something, so keep an eye out for that. Also there you'll find links to our socials. We're at You Run Podcast everywhere. You also, at the bottom of the page, you'll find now a link to our Patreon. We are patreon.com/You Run Podcast. On there, you get to join a community of, not a very big community at the moment, but a community of really, really cool people who love the show, love what we do. And they will introduce you to the extra world of Patreon, where you get early release episodes with no ads, so you don't hear this bit. You get a whole other show called You Run Extra, where me and Mark just get drunk and talk shit about random topics that Patreon pick us. There's also 5 episodes a week, which in next year is going to become an episode every single day of true crime and horror movie review. There's so much on there, and it's less than a cup of coffee to join at the lowest tier. In fact, it's less than a cup of coffee to join at the middle tier, where you get kind of everything. And then there's a third tier where you literally get to own our souls and do whatever you want with us. You can also support us in 3 ways. You can share your show with a friend, share it on your social media, review it on Apple or Spotify. That really, really helps us. Like or comment on any of our posts on social media or on Spotify or on YouTube, and send us an audio DM on X or Instagram, or record a TikTok. Record. Sounded Canadian then. A boot. Or record a TikTok and tag us, and all of those ways get your voice on the air itself. They're all really simple things. They help us grow. You get a lot of fun out of it as well, so go and do those. Let's do some facts. The cast were not told the identity of the killer until the final day of shooting. No one knew. There was a conversation on set as to, is it you? No, it's not me. Is it you? Sure it's not you? Well, I don't know. I haven't had the script yet. So they literally got the script on the last day of shooting as to who the killer was.
That's pretty cool.
So in the movie, they mentioned Robert Rodriguez directed Stab. They actually put him on the screen as the director of Stab, and they make a big thing about it. But they weren't directed by Robert Rodriguez. That was Wes Craven's way of giving a nod to that wonderful director. They were actually directed by Wes Craven. He directed all of those himself, and wanted to give props to another director. Kevin Williams had the idea for Scream 2 while they were writing the script for Scream. And what he done is they finished Scream, and he went, there's more story here. And Wes Craven told him to explore it. So what he done is he went away. This movie began principal photography 6 months after the release of Scream, and was in theaters in less than a year from the original.
I would never have guessed it was that rushed.
No. It shocked me when I found that fact. In the original Scream, Sidney jokes that they'll probably get Tori Spelling to play her in the film. Wes Craven went out of his way to get Tori Spelling to be in this movie to play Sidney Prescott, which I thought's amazing, because that's we're going to do a Stab movie. It's got to be her. Like,
I like Heather Graham playing the Drew Barrymore character as well.
Yeah, the whole casting of Stab, but I would watch a Stab movie. Like, if they released that as a full film with that cast, I'd watch that.
Yeah.
It'd probably be better than this movie.
It definitely would have been better than this movie.
Wes Craven suffered a lot of problems with this in having to edit down and cut. He submitted 8 different cuts to the MPAA before it was passed. 8.
For what reason?
Cut for gore, graphic violence. Like, he went over the top on everything in this. He wanted it to be really dark, and everything he put in the MPAA went, nah, sorry.
Oh, so there is a better version of this movie out there somewhere.
There is a Wes Craven's original concept of this movie somewhere on a cutting room floor. They had to cut it all out. Sarah Michelle Gellar was the only one who didn't avoid Roger L. Jackson on set. So when they done the calls, what they would do is it wasn't done in post edit. Roger L. Jackson was actually on the phone to the cast members, and they deliberately kept him away from the cast, and he freaked everyone out. So no one spoke to him, no one went near him. With Sarah Michelle Gellar, when they called cut, she'd have a chat to him on the phone and used to call him scary ghost voice guy. But no one else would go near him, which I thought was really cool. Ghostface was changed. So the original script leaked on the internet where Derek and Haley, so that's Jerry O'Connell and Elise Neal, were the original killers.
Is that Sidney's best bet?
Yeah, and they changed it because it got leaked. And then they made a joke about it in Scream 3 when they were filming Stab 3 that no one gets the script to the end because this shit gets leaked online. Which, again, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
I don't know.
Kevin Williamson recently has denied that this is the truth. This has been a movie fact for as long as I've known about this movie. Kevin Williamson has said, no, the ending that everyone's talking about with Derek and Haley was a dummy ending that I wrote that we decided not to use, and we went with this was always the intended ending. I'm like, no, it wasn't. I remember it being leaked online. You lying bastard.
Yeah, but did he leak it online?
I don't credit him enough to.
No, I certainly don't.
I don't think he done that. So in the scene where Gale is defending Dewey, and she's defending him to, what's her name? Old Mummy Milkers. She's like, Dewey's a really nice guy. In fact, he's the only one of us who's a real good guy. One of us is a bad guy. Like, she openly tells you that one of those three is the killer.
Who's Mummy Milkers?
Mommy Milkers.
Who is Mummy Milkers?
Billy Loomis' mum.
Oh, right, okay, right.
Before Gail's phone rings, the assistant says someone's on the phone for her, says it's Bob. And that is a reference to Bob Weinstein, the brother of Harvey Weinstein, who both founded Miramax, which...
Very bad men.
Very bad men. And when you look back on it now, you're like, that was a poor choice.
Were they both bad men, or was just Bob the bad one? Oh, no, it was Harvey the bad one.
Harvey was the bad one, but you can't tell me that Bob didn't know and Bob didn't do it too.
No.
I'm pretty sure they were in that.
No smoke without fire, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly that. The film originally ended with a shot of Ghostface watching over the campus from the bell tower. This was cut after Wes Craven said he didn't want to do another one before he made Scream 3. This had a budget of $24 million. How much did you think this took worldwide?
Oh, this was a fucking phenomenon, man. That's got to be... What was the budget? 23?
24.
82?
No, this took 172 million at the global box office. Massive.
I knew it was fucking huge, man. Like, I knew it was huge because this was like my teen years. Do you know what I mean? I weren't old enough to go and see it, but I knew the impact that Scream 2 had, which was massive in comparison to what Scream 1 had. Like, I saw Scream 2 before I'd seen Scream 1 growing up because it was that easily accessible to me from like rentals and just videos everywhere of it. Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah. We have some voicemails. We have two. We're going to kick off with Dave. Let's start with Dave.
Hey guys, just finished listening to the Hannibal episode. Great episode, it was awesome. Katie, fantastic, with some really good films, well done. I really like this version of Hannibal. And I think actually it's the one series I've missed of the TV series, so now I'm intrigued to go and look at that. I don't read books, unfortunately, not novels anyway. I love this Clarice. I think it's really good. I think this movie in part is better than Silence of the Lambs, although not overall. And my biggest turn off for Silence of the Lambs actually is Jodie Foster's voice. Maybe that's who knows.
Yeah.
Mark, as you're so desperate to know number 4 in the quiz, if you can work out number 2, I'm more than happy to give it to you when I give you all the answers and force you to say how great yours is. Catch you later.
So
he said he knows number 4.
He knows number 4, and that's confirmed. I know for a fact he knows what number 4 is. And
So if I tell him what number 2 is, he'll tell me what number 4 is.
Yeah, because he'll call in and he'll give you all the answers, and then he'll make you do an episode where you just praise Jaws forever.
That's not going to happen.
Well, it is if he wins.
It's not.
We have one more message. This one is directed kind of solely at you. This is on the back of our Kate Rules month. Kate thought she'd give us some constructive criticism and some feedback. Well, when I say we, you.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay. What did I do? What did I say?
Hi, Scott. Hi, Mark. I wasn't necessarily planning to message today, but, you know, it is my month and any good manager should be giving constructive feedback on a regular basis to their staff. So I thought I would message and let you know I love the Blair Witch episode. It was brilliant. As always, just one little thing. Mark, I love you. You know that. On what planet did you think I was from America? I'm very amused by that because I do get asked if I'm English a bit. If someone meets me that's not Australian, they'll go, they can't quite place it sometimes, but I've not ever in my life had anyone think that my accent was American. So that was a first, and I'm very fascinated by that. I'm expecting then that you have not listened to my Pizza Bones episodes with Greg and Nate, because Justin from Pop Culture Reflections and Greg affectionately nicknamed me Kate from Down Under. Oi. So I'm going to just go out on a limb and assume you have not listened to those episodes. But that's okay, because you know what? You're a busy guy. I get it. You've got a lot on your plate. It's all good. But yeah, nope, I'm Australian, and I think you guys are doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. I'm very happy. Thank you so much.
So there's a few things to break down there. Firstly, Kate, I apologize. No, I have not listened to those episodes. You don't listen to any. You don't listen. I was going to say I'm a very self-absorbed person. I don't do anything outside other than what Scott makes me do. She sounds very sexy. Am I allowed to say that about management on this show? That's a very sexy voice, Kate. I must say, I don't know what you look like, but I'm getting major Kylie Minogue vibes off the bat there. That sounded good. I could listen to you for hours. I may go and check those episodes out. Yeah, they're good episodes. I have listened to those episodes. I did actually message Kate and went, Mark doesn't listen to anything, like ever. Like nothing at all. No. Even if I send Mark a voice note, Mark won't listen to it. He'll message me and go, "What do you want?" And I have to text him. You know how it is, man. I try to be as active as I possibly can within the community. I try to listen to other people's stuff. I try to watch other people's content, but I just don't. I don't, man. It's because I'm busy, like used to all the time. Listen to podcasts for hours and hours and hours on end, because I used to have the time to do it, because I used to work solely on my own, and I'd travel quite a lot of the country up and down, and I'd spend like 3-4 hours in the van driving coast to coast, and I'd have the van to myself so I could listen to that. But like now I have like staff and people working under me. A lot of them are a lot younger than I am. A lot of them don't like horror movies. I couldn't just flick on a podcast and make somebody else listen to it for a 4-hour journey. And then when I come home, I'm just devoured by madness within the breeding farm that I have at my home at the moment. Keep it in your pants and it's not happening. So I just don't have a lot of free time. I don't have a lot of free time to check out the things that I would love to check out, the things that I would love to listen to. So it's not for the want of willing, it's for the lack of availability to do so. So please don't consider me ignorant by any stretch, because it's not that I don't want to check out you guys' content. I don't not want to watch your stuff. It's just I just can't, man. I can't fit it all in, and I do try. I really, really do try. Yeah, but those of you who can fit it in, Pizza Bones is part of
You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast.
Oh, I'm definitely going to check that out now I've heard Kate's voice.
Yeah, available on the You Run Podcast Network. Go and check it out. And Kate, I'm glad you think we're doing a good job. That means a lot. And yeah, apologies that Mark doesn't understand regional accents. In fact, international accents, even a little bit. We brought back cover notes, and the reason I brought back cover notes, I wasn't gonna, is I looked at the cover note for Scream 2. Who the fuck wrote that? Someone has taken their love of sequels one step too far.
Yeah, that is really lame.
It's really lame. It's really lazy. And I thought you guys could do better. I'm not sure if you did, but Jim from Jim Retro Emporium went with, it's like the first one with Buffy. It's kind
But it's not, because it's no, it's not. Don't even give that justification. That's not an insult in you, Jim, but this is nothing like the first one. The first one's a good movie.
Yeah, sorry, there is one good scene like the first one with Buffy, is what you
yeah,
should have written.
that works better. That works much better.
Dewey Podmonster went with Now There's Two of Them. That works for me. Let's talk Horror Channel. BP went with Double Scream. Come on, BP.
I like that.
You could do better, BP, I'm sure.
No. I think that's good. I like that. I like the simplicity of it. It works.
You're gonna like Alex's then from AMPFX Studios. He went with Scream 2, Scream Louder.
Yes. See that when I get taglines, that's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Simplify it. Keep it basic. It works.
Alex Inns on Facebook went, why the fuck is Jada Pinkett on this poster? Which I'll be honest, I wasn't going to use that until someone commented directly below that, and they commented with this.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
And honestly,
my heart breaks for Will Smith, man. My heart breaks for that guy. Have you seen the stuff that dude's been doing lately? He's like freestyle rap battles that he's been having on like the release of this mediocre album that he's put out there. It's not even mediocre, it's just embarrassing, to be honest with you.
And he had he released a video where half of the crowd were AI.
I saw that, yes. Oh, the shame.
Yeah.
The shame, man. And
What
I just
happened to
stick to making Bad Boys movie, go out and make Men in Black 4, get your reputation back, divorce your wife, and we will all welcome you with open arms, trust me.
Yeah, release Boom Shake the Room 2, and we'll all dance to it for an entire summer again, like we did in '93.
I just don't recognize the guy who released Millennium. I just do not see him anymore.
No, it's Big Willie Styles now, not Big Willie Style. It's just nothing. Dave James on Facebook went with more blood, more mayhem. Your core audience expects it. It's a bit much for a tagline.
And also not very factually correct either, because there is not more blood and there's not more mayhem. Even though he even states in the movie, the sequel, there's more kills, you got to amp it up more than the first. Take your own advice, Wes Craven, because you do not follow through with any of those statements in this film.
No. And finally, again on Facebook, Tyler Guru. I like this. Scream 2. First call is your warning. Second call is your last. Which works until he made 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. Can you imagine that amplified on Scream 6? Your first call is your warning. Your second call is your second warning.
Your third call, I'm getting frustrated now. So that is it for cover notes. Make sure you follow us on social media at You Run Podcast. You can get involved with loads of different interactive features. We kind of mix them up a bit now each week, so there's lots of things for you to get involved with. We're going to do our quiz, which I really hope ends soon. I'm going to let Mark have another crack at it today. So I'm going to play you an audio clip. There are 5 movies contained within the audio clip. All you need to do is name all 5. Send us a voicemail on Instagram or X with those 5 movies. You win a 6-month. In fact, no, fuck it. You win an entire year's subscription on Patreon for free. You get an entire year at the level where you get all the shows. I've just doubled the prize because no one can get it.
Right, well, and in this case, I definitely don't want Dave to win it. So somebody pull your fucking finger out.
Dave's your Patreon member. So if Dave wins it, Dave gets the Patreon prize, and the Patreon prize is you can pick an episode for me and Mark to do, which will be Patreon exclusive, where we will cover and do whatever you want in whatever way you want. So if you want me to come on here and do an episode where I do nothing but praise Halloween 4 and say how wonderful it is and take back all the horrible, nasty things I've said about Halloween 4, I'll do it. If you would like Mark to do that about Jaws, then Mark will do that too.
I can't let Dave win this. I cannot let Dave win this.
So here is your audio clip.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit!
Move! Give me a break.
So we know that number 1 is Halloween Resurrection. Number 2, we do not know. Number 3 is Sleepaway Camp. Number 4, we do not know. Dave knows it, but we don't know it. And number 5 is Evil Dead 2013. Do you want me to play it again?
Please.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit!
Move! Give me a break.
So I think we should give a clue, or I should give a clue for number 4, because Dave knows it and no one else does. And Dave plans on holding on to it. So I think I should put the pressure on Dave and give a bit of a clue.
I feel like I'm invested in this now more than I ever have been, because I cannot have Dave have any more control than he already does.
Dave's amazing, because like you'll put in a movie you really want and people on Patreon get to veto movies. We'll put out the movies we're doing and Dave will be like, no.
It's always my stuff. He goes for me every time.
It's only certain movies that you pick and he's like, no, you're not allowed that one. I know you really want that one.
Because we don't explain in the Patreon what movies each of us have put forward. But the ones that he instantly recognizes as knowing it's mine, he's like, yeah, Mark did that, veto. Mark did that one, veto. So
I've not had a movie
I can't
veto.
have him have this level of control going forward. So I need to win this, not for me personally, but so I can then pick somebody to give the answers to.
Right, well, I'm going to give you a clue to number 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the director of the movie that is from. So I'll play you the clip again.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit!
Move! Give me a break.
And the director of that movie is Ty West.
Got it. Give me a clue for the second one right
No.
now. No,
No
give me a clue for the second one right now. I will fucking crack this code and someone will be a winner today.
There are no clues for the second one, but here is the clip again.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit!
Move! Give me a break.
In fact, I will give a clue for the second one. Scream 2. That's the clue for the second one. I'm going to round this up first. I don't hate this, like on a level that it's unwatchable. It is the weakest in the franchise for me. This and 3 kind of, I don't know, they're interchangeable as whichever one I've watched most recent is the shittest in the franchise at the time. They lean too heavy into the comedy. They make it too goofy. It's too silly. The tripping, the falling, the bike down the stairs. Like Ghostface doesn't have the menacing presence that he had in the first one, and he doesn't get it back till the fourth one. I just find that he's just mediocre. Ghostface himself is mediocre. The reveal I don't think is great. I would have preferred the original ending that apparently wasn't an original ending to be what we got. Neve Campbell in this is great. I think she's arguably the best version of Sidney Prescott in this movie that she is in the entire franchise. Courtney Cox has a good haircut. That's a positive for Courtney Cox. I'm not a fan of that character.
I feel with what you're saying right now, you're clinching at straws. We're talking about Courtney Cox's haircut.
Yeah, this is kind of where like Courtney Cox's hair is really good in this. I don't like the Gale Weathers character. I'm not the biggest fan of Courtney Cox, but her hair is fucking spot on. It's great in this. The tension in this is much less than it is in any other Scream movie. Like you could, like in the first one, you could cut the tension with a knife. When Drew Barrymore's hiding from Ghostface at the beginning, like crawling down the side of the house, that's like on the edge of your seat shit. In this, It's like, oh, Ghostface is there. Oh, he's going to get them. Oh, they're hiding. Like all that tension's just lost. I don't know if that's musical cues or directorial cues or whatever, but it just doesn't work for me. And this film is so long. Like this is like
2
2
hours.
hours.
Is way too long.
We've said this loads of times. 2 hours for any slasher is too long.
Yep.
Like a slasher is, there's a killer. There's normally a group of teens. The killer picks off the teens till we get to the final girl who kills the killer. We all clap because it was gory and bloody. It was fun, and it's over.
Yeah, we'll tell you how perfectly that's done next week.
We genuinely will. I think we really. There's a few little points I have with that movie that don't work for me, but on the whole,
can see your nipples.
It's a great movie.
Done. Yeah, it really is. And that is how all slashers should be. And this is not one of them.
Yeah, I reckon I could cut 25 minutes out of this and no one would even notice I'd done it.
And then some.
Yeah.
Easily.
I don't know. I get the feeling that maybe this was Wes Craven, like he'd done the first one and like you say, was unsure where to go. It kind of feels almost like a testing ground. We'll do a bit of comedy. We'll do a bit of serious stuff. We'll see what lands. It's the worst Scream. I don't know. Arguably, it's one of the worst directed Wes Craven movies, which is a bold claim.
I don't think it is. I think that's a very, very strong claim. Probably
yeah,
one that majority of people would agree with.
Wes Craven's
Ghostface aficionados,
which we will hear a lot from this week. When this comes out, there is going to be a lot of people within the Scream fandom which sit up there as mental as the Halloween fandom. Who are just going to come gunning. You don't understand it. We're going to get that a lot. I'm going to get at least 3 messages that tell me I don't understand Scream 2.
I encourage it. I genuinely encourage it. I feel like if I'm missing something with this movie that other people are shocked to hear our thoughts on, I want you to call into the show and I want you to justify this movie to me. And I want you to explain to me why this is such a good film.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that. I'll take as many calls of that. I'll field as many calls like that as we can.
And that's not a mocking statement either. I'm not mocking you for your thoughts on it. I'm just curious to know what it is. Because I don't feel like as a Ghostface Scream fandom kind of generation that those people are, I don't think this movie is one of them that holds it up. I don't feel like Scream 2 and 3 are the backbone of their feelings and thoughts. You know, I think they love Scream 1, and I reckon the vast majority of them love Scream 4, and I reckon everybody else is kind of coasting with what Spyglass is doing. But I think Scream 1 and 4 are fucking awesome movies.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Like, you like what you like, but if you like this, I am going to mock you in the same way you mock me for loving Sharknado 3. Like, this is so bad, but unlike Sharknado 3, it's not so bad, it's good. This is so bad, you're just blinded by the fact that Wes Craven's attached and Ghostface is in it, because there's nothing else here that works. I'm going to give this a score. Do I score it better or do I score it worse than what I scored last week's movie?
What did we score last week's movie?
I gave House of a Thousand Corpses a 1. No, I give it a 1.5. It went up.
Right, you were harsh as fuck. I only asked because I can't remember where we were or what we were doing last week.
Yeah, I give it a 1.5. You give it a 5. I'm going to give this. I'm going to give this the same score as House of a Thousand Corpses. This is a 1.5 out of 5 from me. It is dog shit. I think I'm being generous. I think I maybe bumped the score up a little bit because I know that this kind of sits the same level of enjoyment as House of a Thousand Corpses for me. This is like
House of a Thousand Corpses is a fucking flawless movie, man. You're not in the right mindset for it. Infidel.
Clearly not.
Right. So for me, for Scream 2, I think the bare bones of it, the story is very, very good. I like the development of Sidney's character, the situation she's in, and how it's amplified to a realistic scenario with the movie release of Stab and Gale Weathers going on to be this famous author due to her involvement in the first one. And I love the idea of a copycat killer. one of my favorite movies of all time is Copycat with Sigourney
I
Weaver.
I
fucking
do.
love that
Yeah,
movie.
great movie.
And I think this movie very much follows suit in terms of trying to replicate the awesomeness of that film with less class. I think Neve Campbell is a goddess of a woman. She looks amazing in this movie, and I think she's an incredible actress, in all honesty. I think every performance she gives to the Scream franchise is nothing but perfect. I could never criticize anything that she does within this film franchise. I think
Scream
she's
3.
really, really good.
You
Is she
can.
bad in Scream 3?
Absent, I think, is the word. She's there for about 11 minutes, and in the 11
And I don't
minutes,
think that's down to her performances. I remember a lot of the interview segments with her in the police station. She gives a great performance when she's there on screen. I just think that's down to the writing necessarily than her as an actress. I think everything I've seen her in, which is not a lot outside of this movie franchise, I'll be honest with you, but I think she's very, very good. I think she's very talented, and I think that showcases very well throughout these movies. And I think a lot of the supporting cast here are very, very good. I think Courtney Cox is great. I think David Arquette's fantastic. I love Timothy Oliphant. I think even the weird witchy bitch from Urban Legend is good here. Sarah Michelle Gellar's fantastic. I don't think necessarily the writing of their characters works particularly well, but they're all right. And I think even Jerry O'Connell, even though I hate him in the scene that we've discussed at length throughout this episode, I still think he's fantastic in the movie. He portrays the jockey douchey character very well. He's very convincing, you know. So I have no issue at all with the cast. I have no issue with Wes Craven's direction either. I think the movie looks really, really good. The score's very well done. I don't think it hits the same beats that it does in the first movie, but I don't know if a lot of that comes from the lack of tension due to the writing, because I know the score is the same. It's just not incorporated. The Woodsboro score, although they're in a different location, hence why the Woodsboro score is not so at the forefront in this movie as it was in the first. It just doesn't hold that. It doesn't hold the tension at all for me.
No.
Wow. Like the first movie, even to this day, I still find that first movie scary. I was genuinely terrified by the first Scream movie growing up. It was one of those movies where I'd be always real dubious to put on in a crowded situation where we was in a room and everyone was like, oh, we should watch a horror film. Mine was always like, oh yeah, put on I Know What You Did Last Summer. I love that movie. Because I knew it didn't bother me to watch it. I used to be like really scared of Scream. I thought it was a really scary movie. And I think that's due to the impact of the score, the sound cues, the direction, the tension building throughout. Even though the meta humor was always there within the background, you could never categorize the original Scream movie as a comedy. I feel like Scream 2 easily falls into the category of comedy and self-awareness, and that's one thing that I always distinguish between the two is like the original Scream movie is a horror movie first.
Yeah.
And you could watch that film with very little knowledge of the genre and of the era and just take it at face value, and it's a scary horror movie. Scream 2, on the other hand, is heavily lent towards the winks and nods at the cameras, and nothing presents that more than that whole entire back and forth with Dewey and Randy in the cafe when they're talking about, well,
you're the killer,
suspect, and you're the killer. If I'm a suspect, then you're that is the most fucking awkward scene in this movie, barring the Jerry O'Connell singing on the table stuff. I think the kills are underwhelming. There's nothing really memorable outside of the cold open with Jada Pinkett Smith. I think the reveal of Billy's mother being the killer and her grooming Timothy Oliphant's character into something was just a misstep. I didn't like it.
Milkers.
I didn't like it. I don't think like it was as impactful of a reveal as what Wes Craven thought it was going to be. Liv Schreiber as Cotton Weary, fantastic. Very underutilized character. he could have been more prevalent in this movie.
Yeah,
and had
100%.
role which would have amplified what this movie was had he been more of a mainstay character other than a dipping in and out red herring that he was. His hero saving the day thing at the end, as much as we discussed it and saying that we liked that sort of undeciding nature of what he was going to do in that moment, it was very cool, don't get me wrong, but it didn't hold the impact it should have done due to how underutilized he was throughout the film. He was just as a look, it's Cotton. Cotton's a guy. He's got a vengeance because he was put away for a year. Let's all look at Cotton, which is a shame, really, because he could have been something special in this movie for the good or for the bad. And you could have thrown it either which way and it would have worked for me. Even if it had got to the end and it had turned out Cotton had been the killer, I would have accepted that because there are so many missteps along the way where you think, is he, isn't he, is he, isn't he? To throw Laurie Metcalf in there, like even watching it on a rewatch and knowing that she's a killer, everything that leads up to that point, she's getting to crime scenes early, she's doing all this stuff, she's annoying Gail Weathers. It's just so underwhelming.
Yeah.
Find out she's the fucking one. And Timothy Oliphant, God love him, his character in this movie doesn't justify the same Billy Loomis and Stu Marker presence that this movie deserved, especially when the entirety talking about the grandeur of a sequel and got to be one step better. It's not. The entirety of this movie is a complete step down from the first. I'm going to score this a 2 out of 5. I'm not going to go as harshly as Scott is because there is elements of this movie that I do like. And I don't necessarily begrudge my time when I'm watching it because the stuff that I dislike, I can laugh at and I can enjoy. It doesn't infuriate me, barring the Jerry O'Connell singing scene. It doesn't infuriate me when I'm watching it. I don't sit there and get really angry about it because I don't care enough about this franchise to get angry about it. Had this been a franchise that I loved, had this been a movie in the Halloween franchise, I'd have been sit here now seething and it would have been got a fucking minus 100 because of the that it had done to the rest of the series. But for somebody who cares so little about the Scream franchise, I don't hate my time spent when I'm watching this movie. I kind of enjoy laughing at the missteps along the way as I'm watching it. If that makes any sense whatsoever, you know, like I can sit there and revel and enjoy the mistakes that it's made along the way because it's not my franchise. It's not held dearly in my heart. So for me, it doesn't insult me to see these major wrongdoings to a slasher icon.
I'd agree with that. Like it's not our franchise.
No, so it doesn't insult me the way that it would if it was a Halloween movie or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. You know, I don't want to pull it apart to that extent because I just don't care enough about these movies. I love the original. The original's fucking amazing, and I love a lot of the sequels along the way. But I don't care enough about the first one that much. I don't hold that dearly enough to be like, how dare they do this to my beloved movie? You know, to me, it's like, oh, it's rough, man. But like, I just don't care enough. You know, it's a 2 out of 5. It's not a bad movie, but it's really, really not a great movie.
Yeah, it's really not. I tell you what is a great movie and a great franchise movie. That's the Sharknado movies. And next month we are doing the final of our Sharknado movies. It's the last one.
I can't believe we're at the end.
No, I can't either. And we asked all of the listeners what franchise replaces Sharknado. And they chose the Wrong Turn franchise, of which I've seen a couple of the movies, and I think the 6 and a reboot. Yeah. And I was kind of not really on board for that. I was like, oh, there was loads of weird movies and then they picked this one. It's kind of safe. And yeah, next week we review the first movie of the replacement for Sharknado, Wrong Turn. And I'm going to give hats off to Becky. This girl loves horror. I think you may have picked the best franchise for us to do next. Because
oh, the naivety of this man. I am very well versed in this franchise. The first movie is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I hope you hold that moment in your heart. This joy you're feeling right now for this selection and the happiness that you're feeling because of how great the first movie is that you've watched. Hold on to that. Because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need that Care Bear feeling going forward.
Fabulous. Okay, well, next week we're back with Wrong Turn at the start to what sounds like a massive decline in quality and a massive decline in my mood.
Part 2, part 3 is as far as I made it. And you know me, I'm a completionist. I haven't made it past part 3.
Well, with this we will.
We have to,
go
yes.
all the way to part 6, and depending on how we feel, maybe the reboot. But until then...
I want to do the reboot. We have to include the reboot, surely.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the next 7 years of the show mapped out.
Yeah, we haven't been doing Sharknado. How many Sharknado movies are there?
There are 6. We done.
So we must have done at least a couple in a year.
We done 2 in the first year, 2 in the second year, and yeah, we are.
How long have we been doing this shit for?
You've been full-time co-host for almost 3 years now.
Fuck off, man! I've been doing this shit for 3 years.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
It's been a while.
It has.
I spend probably more time a week talking to you than I do talking to Lisa.
3 years. I've been here 3 years talking shit about movies. That's mental.
Every Friday. You in fact, you've done 200. I'll work it out. Next week, I'll update you. It's 200 plus episodes, Mark's been in.
Have I?
Yeah.
I remember the good old days, man, when he used to celebrate my birthday and like milestone moments on the podcast and that. You've changed, dude. You've changed, man. You just don't care anymore. Don't worry, guys. I'm still here to support you all.
I don't even know when your birthday is. Do you know when mine is?
My birthday is next week, man.
Is it really?
Well, no, not in terms of... We're doing a whole Back to the Future thing now because we're weeks in front. But as of recording this episode, it's my birthday on Sunday. Remember that shit.
This Sunday coming?
This Sunday? No, not tomorrow. No,
it's right. Yeah,
it's Friday today.
Next week, next Sunday is your birthday.
Next Sunday is my birthday.
Right, okay. I will make a big song and dance about your birthday.
No, you won't. You'll forget. And now, like, I feel like I'm doing that thing where it's like, it's my birthday. Say happy birthday to me, friend.
You are. And everyone
not.
As this comes out almost 2 weeks after Mark's birthday. Everyone send birthday messages for next week. Because I think that will be really, really funny.
That annoying thing where like the episode's going to come out. My birthday was 2 weeks ago, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, happy birthday, Mark!" And I'm like, "Fuck you! It was 2 weeks ago."
Exactly that. So yeah, everyone send happy birthday messages to Mark. It's his birthday next weekend. And until then, have a wonderful week, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
You want to die tonight?
Jokes he tells sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled.
Mommy Milker.
You run podcasts, horror movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. Thank you for taking us on this chilling ride, when nightmares roll free and comedy collide. With your podcast we laugh and cringe, but your content is so good we can't help but binge. You run podcasts.
I'm Buffy, the vampire slayer, and you are?